going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger. We are back at you again today with another MLB 16 The Show Diamond Dynasty online gameplay. It's time for another episode of This Week in Baseball. If you're new to the series, it's a weekly show here on YouTube where we talk about everything going on in Major League Baseball over some Diamond Dynasty gameplay. Exciting news for 2020. Baseball and softball returning to the Olympics. Just want to get that out of the way. I'm excited about that. I know we're 4 years away. The Rio Olympics start this weekend, but I think that's really good news. I'm excited to see some Olympic baseball in 4 years. Now, we got a lot of stuff to talk about with the trade deadline that was on Monday. Tons of players moving from one team to another. We're going to talk about all the important trades and then go over the standings, and I'll give you my predictions on who's going to win the World Series, who's going to win each division. All right, so Colin Ray is going back to the Padres. Now, I realize all these things happen on Monday, so we're covering them a little late. But Colin Ray goes back to the Padres. He got traded to the Marlins. He gets hurt in his first start, and they somehow reworked the deal to send Ray back. Marlins felt very, very upset about that. I don't blame them. You basically traded for damaged goods. I don't know if the Padres were being shiesty about that or what, but I guess it worked back out for them. The Dodgers made a bunch of different moves. They get Josh Reddick and Rich Hill from the Oakland A's, and they also got Jesse Chavez from the Blue Jays. They gave up a lot of prospects for these guys for rent-a-player. So if I got any Dodgers fans here, tell me how you feel about it. Some Dodgers fans that I follow on Twitter weren't very excited about it. They were, happy to get Reddick, but to give up a lot of players, they weren't happy about it. Also, Yasiel Puig got demoted. They couldn't trade him. They got Reddick to fill in that outfield slot, and they couldn't trade him, so they demoted him. He's going to be moving down to the minor leagues now for now. I can't imagine he'll be on that team next year. The Cleveland Indians, they missed out on the Jonathan Lucroy sweepstakes. I can't blame him for negating that trade or vetoing that trade. Basically, the reports came out the Indians, really didn't guarantee that he'd be playing every day, that he'd be splitting time with Yan Gomes, and I think that's what kind of rubbed Lucroy the wrong way, but they did pick up Brandon Guyer from the Rays and Andrew Miller from the Yankees. I thought after the Andrew Miller trade was announced, there was no doubt Lucroy would head over there, but he indeed did change his mind. Lucroy ended up going to the Rangers, which we'll talk about in a moment. The Giants also gave up a bunch of prospects and a bunch of young players. I was really shocked at this. They gave up Andrew Susac, who's a very talented player. They gave him up to get Will Smith, a reliever from the Brewers. And then they also gave up Matt Duffy plus 2 top 10 prospects in their system just for Matt Moore from the Rays. Is Matt Moore really going to be worth that? I'm not sure, but the Giants are really struggling right now. They had to do something, so I guess you can't blame them. They've been winning World Series with this kind of attitude where they trade prospects for rented players. It's been working for them over the last decade, so why not roll the dice? The Rangers, we did mention they got Jonathan Lucroy. They also got Jeremy Jeffers from the Brewers. The Brewers really got hosed in this trade, in my opinion. They gave up, they being the Rangers, gave up some prospects, did not have to deal Joey Gallo, which I know was coveted by a lot of teams as part of this Lucroy Rangers deal. I really thought Gallo would be part of it. And then the Rangers also got Carlos Beltran from the Yankees. The Yankees pretty much, they gave up everybody. And you know what? I think that's a good idea. They're really didn't have many impact players on that team. Really good pitchers with Chapman, Miller, and Betances, but they weren't going anywhere, so it's kind of like they were just emptying the recycling bin and downloading a whole new roster, and maybe it'll work out for you Yankee fans in a couple years. Jay Bruce went to the Mets. That trade got kind of reworked. We thought that the Mets were going to give up one of their big prospects, and it didn't work out, so they gave up some other guys, but Jay Bruce goes to the Mets. The Mets are really, really struggling right now, and then the Orioles got Steve Pearce from the Rays. Now, I think there were some other really smaller trades. I realize I didn't get to all of them, but those were the most important ones. in my opinion. So let's go over the standings, and as I said, I will give you guys my predictions on who's going to win each division. The National League West, the Giants are falling but still have a 2-game lead on the Dodgers. Giants really have been struggling since the All-Star break. We mentioned that last week. My Rockies are just playing very, very well right now, guys. I am very excited about this team. 7 games back right now. I don't think the Rockies will win the division, but I think we are going to be able to fight for a wild card spot. I'm still going to say that the Giants win the NL West barely. Going to be a fun race down to the end. The NL East, I think the Nationals are just running away with it right now. 7-game lead on the Marlins. I'm going to predict the Nationals to win that. NL Central, no brainer as well. The Cubs with a 9-game lead over the Cardinals right now. I'm pretty sure that the Cubs will win that division. AL East is very, very interesting between the Orioles, the Blue Jays, and the Red Sox. I've been on record all season saying I think the Red Sox are going to win that division, but I'm not as confident anymore, guys. I think the Orioles are going to win the AL East. They just have better pitching. I don't think the Red Sox made the necessary moves that I thought they should at the trade deadline to acquire better pitching. I think the AL East goes to the Orioles. AL Central, I'm going to go with the Tigers. They are right on the Indians' back right now. They've got a bunch of veteran players who have been there before and have won division titles. Watch out for the Tigers. 2 games back on the Indians. I've been a fan of the Indians all year. I still think they make it as a wild card team, but I think Detroit's going to somehow steal that division. And I'm going to go with the Rangers to win the AL West. Right now, they are leading 5.5 games up on there. For the wild card spots, I'm going with my Rockies, and I'm going with the Cardinals for the 2 wild card teams in the National League. In the American League, we're going to go with the Red Sox and the Houston Astros. That's right. They're making a comeback there. I think they're going to go ahead and get that other wild card spot. And for my prediction, the World Series is going to be the Rockies versus the Orioles. That's my prediction. I know I'm a homer, but my Rockies are playing good right now. Peace, guys. Thanks for watching.